Hello you lovely lot and welcome back to my channel, and of course if you're new here, hello to you as well. I'm Katie and today I will be doing the Darkest Raven Designs mini Spooktober. Last year Chantal did a Berttober prompt list and I enjoyed that so much I decided to do this year's one as well. And in a similar vein I have decided to do all prompts on one page rather than individually. Now don't you lovely lot worry about what's happened to Inktober, I will be resuming that over the next week or so. It's just been very busy at the moment and I wanted to do the stuff I enjoy more, but don't worry, it is coming. Don't think I've forgotten it. Or abandoned it for that matter. I used a hot press watercolour paper to draw everything on. I think for the line work especially, that lack of texture just makes it easier to have nice crisp smooth lines. It makes it a smoother drawing process for me and a smoother outcome for all of you to enjoy at the end. There are of course 31 prompts that will be concealed or blatantly on show in this drawing, and they are as follows: checkered, table, chairs, windmill, teacups, teapot, cake, cat, cards, candles, hair, letter, fan, gloves, butterfly, caterpillar, bottle, vorpal blade, rabbit, books, cookies, milk jug, sugar bowl, Alice, clock, key, raven, dormouse, hat, mushroom and flowers. Woo! Now, compared to last year, this one is going to be all in colour. Last year I kept it quite monochrome, but this year we're going to add colour in there. The inks I've decided to use are the Winsor & Newton drawing inks, as well as, I can still never pronounce them, but I've used them before throughout Inktober, and they're the ones we got in Up Crate, I think about 12 months ago, maybe a little less, but you know the ones. I can't pronounce it, but you know the ones. I start off by filling the area in first with the red, and then I add the black, and then I go over the whole lot again in the red, so the checkered background doesn't look too stark. I think adding that red over the black just tones it down a little bit. For our Cheshire Cat, as well as a few other items, I thought I would go in there with the most garish pink possible because I want him to stand out. I also add it on the potion bottle as well as Alice's lips and just a few other areas on the picture. I don't want to overwhelm it with that pink because it doesn't necessarily strike the right balance with the red in the background. Our Alice is going to have a dark hair to her, so as a area to block off first, I go over it in a blue, and it's not the most pigmented of blues, I'll be honest. I shook that bottle quite a lot and that's as much as I could get it to do. However, after carefully painting it a number of times, 3 times actually, I managed to get a good vibrancy to it and continued on with the rest of the picture while it dried. As you can see, I am drawing the windmill which is in the background, and it sort of becomes part of the composition here. I add a yellow layer down for that because that's just going to create enough of a contrast, and also it means I can add the details over the top without them getting lost. And speaking of details, it is time to add some details to Alice's hair now that layer has finally dried. I really wanted her hair to look quite dramatic and as if it's all part of the burst that's going on in the background. So I sectioned areas off and just went to town adding all of that detail and all of those tonal differences for the different shadows and highlights there. I must admit, as time consuming as this can be sometimes, I really do enjoy doing this. I did use a Faber-Castell brush tipped pit liner pen, you know the ones, just to add the more deeper areas of black, and I eventually end up going over all of that again in another coat of blue, just so it doesn't look so stark with the contrast in itself. Does that make sense? As there were quite a lot of prompts on this one, well actually not really any more than any other Tober list, but I thought I would perhaps have a bit of method to the composition here. As you can see to the left of the picture, everything is very much tea party themed, with the hair, the table chairs, books, cookies, cakes, dormouse, sugar bowl, milk jug, chair, you name it, it's all on that side. And I thought that would have its own little miniature composition as well, so it's all just sort of flying out from behind Alice. On the right hand side we have the playing cards, the caterpillar, the butterfly, the raven, the rabbit who's very late. And I'm glad I took a little bit more of a thoughtful approach with that, and I like the composition that's come out. To give our Cheshire Cat a good purple look, I went over it again in that same blue that I've used everywhere else, and we've got this rather odd looking purple, but I'm okay with that. I'm not mad at it at all and I quite like it. And once all of the black details have been re-outlined on there, it's starting to look a lot better. I thought adding that very garish pink on the wings would be just the right thing, although we're very lucky there that it doesn't completely clash with the red. There's only a little bit where the pink is next to that red, so we're okay. For the windmill, it is time to start adding the lines and the panels on there, and I pretty much just went straight in there and did that. For the table, I used a brown ink, and to begin with, I thought this probably is not a good choice. So what I did was used a Marabou liquid watercolour, and I used an orange for that, just to go over it, just so it brings everything up to the same level of vibrancy, because right now that doesn't look great. I was actually quite surprised by how well that orange did work over the top of there, and as you can see, it's vibrant again. Obviously it needs another outline because number one, it just does, and number two, you know I like doing that kind of thing. I also thought that orange over the top of the mushroom just made the two parts stand out better, so the cap is much better than the stem on there and it stands out and it's more cohesive. I thought I'd make the vorpal blade golden, so that yellow came in quite handy there, and pretty much once all of the ink's been painted on there, it's time to just outline everything. I wanted some stronger layers of contrast, especially for her hair, so we get the good old white gel pen out for that, and instantly that just adds a little bit more movement and a lot more cohesive texture, light, shadows, you name it, it just brings everything all together. And it also makes our Cheshire Cat stand out better too, which I'm all for. We can't have him hiding at the back there and not being noticed. I really enjoyed doing this, just like I did last year, and I think you should check that video out. And whilst we are checking videos out, you should check out my friend Chantel's channel. I'm going to leave a link in the description that I think you should follow if you don't already. She has a wonderful channel creating all sorts of amazing things. Anyway, we are done with this picture. Like I say, I absolutely adored doing this. I can't wait already for next year's. I love the organised chaos of this drawing, and yes, I think I should probably take this approach a little bit more with other prompt lists perhaps. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, there should be some more videos on screen that I think you're going to love. I just want to say thank you, Chantel, for this list. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!